Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Chloe and this is my first video. I wanted to, that's Stella. I wanted to take you through the decks that I acquired in the last year because it was meant to be like a low buy or no buy year. So just, yeah, I wanted to check in and let's see, how I went. Oh, can I get that a bit clearer? There we go. Okay, beautiful. So, I got a few decks around the holidays in 2022, and it was my intention to, work with those, right? Not spread myself thin, have too many decks, buy too many decks. So I got a few decks for Christmas, and I decided, these are the decks that I'm going to be working with. These are the decks for next year. So coming into 2023, I didn't want to purchase any decks. I just wanted to work with the decks that I already have. Now, I don't know how realistic I was with that intention. This is the first deck that I bought in 2023. This is the Tarot de Maria Celia. And this is a beautiful Marseille deck. Wonderful cardstock. It's from US Games. And it does seem to be a pretty popular Marseille deck. The art is absolutely stunning. This one is by Leonard Jim Narcisco. So I didn't have any Marseille decks in my collection. So I was able to justify this deck for that reason. Well, I don't have any Marseille, so let's bring a Marseille deck into the collection here. It is one of the tarots in a tin, which is, of course, amazing packaging, right? Tarot in a tin is a great size, and it also, protects the cards, right? So I haven't really gone through learning Marseille yet. So like jury's still out on this one. I love the art. I think it's beautiful. So I wouldn't say necessarily regret acquiring it, because now when I'm ready to go on learning Marseille, this is still the deck that I would want to use, right? I do feel like after I learn, the Thoth, and after I learn Marseille, considering, most of my studies have been around the Smith Rider-Waite and their meanings, I do feel like I can still incorporate those. I'm also, I apply and consider astrological meanings a lot too with my cards, right? So that's something that, even though it's a certain system, I'm feeling like I will be able to apply Rider-Waite-Smith meanings, to the Marseille cards. I'm not sure if that's something that people, do or not. I haven't really heard it discussed much, but that's sort of my plan. Like, then I'll know more meanings. I can apply more meanings. So the second deck I got was another tarot in a tin. This is the Morgan Greer. Beautiful, rich coloring. What drew me to this one in the spring of 2020 when I made this purchase, it was that classical Smith Rider-Waite imagery with the rich colors, and I really, really like the retro style of it. These men with mustaches. I figured that this is a great deck to have because it's that, classic Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. Oh, here we go. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Why are we getting blurred? But it's a bit more yeah, more modern. I mean, modern 50 years ago, but not 120 years old, right? 50 years old. So, yeah, love the rich colors. Um, haven't worked with this one too much. I did take it, with me to the beach a couple of times, because of like the small size. I can lay it out on my blanket. But yeah, this is beautiful cardstock again. This is another one of the what do you call it? US games. So the third deck I got is the Through the Starstream Oracle. This is by Cheryl Yambach Rose. And I did see this on someone else's YouTube channel. So I was immediately drawn to the paintings, right? Like this is stunning. We have, of course, the author and artist Cheryl. And look, there she is. I mean, right? So this is very, very interesting. It's from the 1990s, and it's got this like Glastonbury meets like celestial, like what's the word? Galactic energy as well too. So it's just such a fun deck, by way of theme. And she's got these beautiful pictures, right? So, as much as the art is beautiful, I haven't necessarily connected yet with this one as far as an oracle deck goes. I love the shape. It's got like the standard tarot shape. They are a bit large, but still, still shuffleable. And yeah, it's like I want to love this deck, but yeah, I haven't connected with it in the way that I hope. As beautiful as the art is, now I would definitely purchase more decks from this artist, given just how beautiful the artwork is. And I have had when working with it, there's been a couple of times when I've got some pretty meaningful pulls as well. So it could just be that I need to spend some more time with it. Yeah, like I don't connect in intuitively necessarily, but there have been a couple of pulls where it's really resonated to what I was asking and what I was going through. So this is the Art Through the Starstream Oracle. And this is, let me see, this is US Games as well. All right. So that was one that I had ordered secondhand. And that's when I sort of like, I'm not going to say went off the rails, but when I realized I could get secondhand decks, I did start to look out for, decks that had been on my list. And I thought if I can get them, secondhand at a good price, let's consider them, right? So the Moon Void Tarot was one of those, indie decks that's highly coveted. This one is by Stephanie Capone, and it is out of print. This is the second edition. It has like some red highlights, and the third edition is the one with the pink highlights. So I don't know. I guess I am a bit more of a pink person than a red person. But this is still just absolutely beautiful. The brand is Arcana Sacra. So this is the French edition. You can see, just some of the, the red accent there. Have a sip of my coffee. So this shuffles beautifully. The cardstock is divine. It is, I believe, I guess it's, I don't know, is it independently published or it's just a small publisher? But this one, is fairly high end as far as price point goes. So I was able to, find it online for about $30 plus shipping. and I had previously seen it, you know, around $100 plus shipping, and this was marketed as, you know, good as new. And the cards show no wear and tear, so I would agree with that. There is a little bit, I guess, a little bit of wear and tear, I would say, on the box, because you have this here. But that's not a deal breaker for me, right? I would say that that is where you would want the damage if there's going to be any wear and tear, rather than on the cards themselves, right? So you can kind of see that there as well too. But the cards themselves are perfect. So yeah, really happy that I scooped that up, and that it was secondhand made me feel a bit more, you know, justified, and that it was one that I'd been coveting, you know, for a while, right? So it was the Starstream Oracle that kind of set me off on that that path of secondhand, and thinking like, well, I mean, if it's already out there, if it's already been printed, you know, I'm not my consumption isn't as bad, right? Let's get my life together here. So I was at a birthday party in the park for a family friend's son, and they were having a pagan pride festival just adjacent to where we had our picnic set up. So I purchased this deck from one of the vendors because it was one that I thought I had had on my list for a while. In hindsight, it may have actually been the Goddess Oracle that I was looking for. But regardless, this is a beautiful secondhand deck I purchased for $10 Canadian. It looks like it, before that, was maybe even secondhand again from a used bookstore, Winter River Books, or it was sold new for $20. I'm not sure. So this one has, yeah, like sort of, you know, different deities presented from like different parts of history and different parts of the world. Like the swords are like the Greco-Roman, it looks like. We have like, yeah, beautiful artwork. It's very feminine. It's the Goddess Tarot. So for $10, I mean, this was perhaps one of the best values, you know, that I acquired. It's sort of like Oracle-like. I mean, it's still rectangular shape, but it's a bit wide. It does shuffle beautifully. So this is the Goddess Tarot by Chris Waldher, and this is from, I believe it's the 1980s. It's a pretty old deck, and this is US Games also. Now, from there I did, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's like totally an impulse buy, because I did look at it when it was on Kickstarter. This is the Springwaite Tarot by Tarot Collectibles, and I was really into the no buy at that point. Like, I had already, you know, acquired a deck or two, so I was looking to, you know, here's the extra cards, the Fool and the Hermit. So yeah, I was looking to, yeah, really rein in my spending, and I didn't back it on Kickstarter. But I regretted it. I guess I regretted it. So when I saw in a tarot Facebook group that it was up for sale on their website, after previously like feeling regret and checking the website to see if it was available and it not being there, when I saw someone say it was up for sale, I went on and ordered it immediately without thinking. And this is my most expensive deck now. I bought it new, direct from the creators, Tarot Collectibles, and with shipping and rate of exchange, this Stars edition of the Springwaite Tarot did come in at about $90 Canadian. So the most I've ever spent on a deck before that was like, I guess it was probably $60 Canadian for the Moonchild and Starchild tarots, direct from creator Danielle Noel. So the cardstock is great. It's like the size of a Rider-Waite Smith and shape. And this is the Stars edition. So I mean, it's just, yeah, it makes me so happy. I'm looking forward to spring when I'll use it. I ordered it in the summertime. And I've flipped through it, but I haven't worked with it much because I'm waiting, you know, for spring to to get to know this one on a more intimate level. One of the cards did have a rip in it when it came. So I contacted the creator and just requested that they send a replacement of that card. I think it was like the 4 or 5 of Pentacles. And they, you know, replied within 2 days and said, yeah, no problem. And then, you know, a couple weeks later, because it's shipping from overseas, I did receive that. So I don't hold that against them. I would say that means that the customer service is very good. It looked like when they were cutting it, that's probably how the edge got torn. So I feel like, you know, you don't really have the opportunity to show how good your customer service is unless not every single thing goes as planned. So I didn't, you know, write to them and say I want a full refund, I want a whole new deck. I just asked for a replacement card, and I think you do get better service as a customer in general when you when you ask for what would make you happy as a solution, and they were happy to, you know, to oblige. So considering how they dealt with the situation, I would, definitely order from Tarot Collectibles in the future. That's not a deal breaker for me. It's a tuck box, so no giant box, which is great. You know, some people love tuck boxes, some people hate them, but for me, I definitely like the compact nature of it. So moving into autumn, I went to a local like witches, what is it, like flea market? I think that's what they were calling it. And there was a tarot reader there who had this for sale. It's $15 Canadian. So this is the companion deck. Well, yeah, not companion, but it came out around the same time or in the same era as the other Cheryl Yambach Rose deck. So this one is called Through the Eyes of the Soul. And then we looked at previously through Art Through the Starstream Oracle. So it's got the same size, same, gold gilding. This is mass market. The other one was US Games. This one's US Games as well. It is a bit on the thick side. Kind of a similar thing where I love the artwork. I think these paintings are stunning. But I'm not, I haven't used it too much. Love the art, and I have had a couple of pulls that really resonated, and I thought, wow, this is a powerful oracle. But generally, I'm not called to this too much. Looking up the cards as well for like an oracle deck when you're not necessarily really reading it fully intuitively and want to know what the creator's intention for meanings was with the cards, it's difficult to look up because you've got no numbers on the cards, which I'm not really sure why that would be. And then there's sort of like the two titles. So I believe you find it under this name, Shasta Shamanka, in the guidebook. And then, the description, move away from a difficult situation. So you can, I believe, find them alphabetically. Let me see here. Isn't this just absolutely beautiful? She's such a talented artist, Cheryl Yambach Rose. Angel of Truth, Anastasia. Yeah, so the first card, they have them alphabetically. Anastasia, Angel of Truth. It starts out that way. So you can look them up. But it's just, it always takes more time when there's no numbers, and I can't see any reason for that. the Starstream Oracle does have numbers, so that's kind of what I was expecting, I guess. Yeah, so there are a couple cards that I really didn't like the look of, so I have taken them out, which I think, yeah, beautiful back, right? The new edition has this on the cover. It's just a bit more of an oracle shape, so it's not as rectangular, more square. So I really, really like that I got it secondhand. And this one as well, I've seen used online for around $100 Canadian. So yeah, getting it for 15 Canadian was yeah, I was so happy to see it, right? Yeah, definitely no regrets with there. Just even to look through, the artwork is so beautiful. So these were the next two decks that I picked up. So we're into autumn now. Yeah, I kind of got on the bandwagon with this. Just, I mean, I love pink, you know that. So this one is Rockpool, Valuria's Tarot by Samrook. And this one was originally an independent deck. So it's got rounded corners, beautiful pink edging, beautiful backs. It's kind of like a mini deck, like you would see sort of like, you know, in a tarot in a tin or something. But yeah, love this box. It's nice and sturdy for sure. Yeah, so this one, she's got like, it's very simple. I haven't worked with this one too much. It's funny, like these decks that I got this last year, I did kind of stick to you know, learning the decks and deepening my connection with the decks that I acquired in 2022. I focused on those in 2023, so I didn't really like, yeah, get into the decks that I bought very much, which is like, I guess that's not great. But I don't know, like I'll do a spread and I'll think about it, I'll contemplate it, you know, make my notes and stuff for a week or two after. So I don't know how people are working with so many different decks. I just don't. I mean, of course, that's like fine if you're able to do that, but I don't know how people are doing that. And then also, you know, getting to know them too. Let me see here what I wanted to show. What did I want to show? Yeah, like the artwork is gorgeous. It's super, super cute, right? Here we are. Yeah. So like the Fool is like a baby, right? So I do like what she has done with this symbolism. It's very simple. The artwork is beautiful. And this person, Sam, I know she's made a few decks. This is the only one of hers I had, but she's clearly, you know, tuned in, right? To what the meanings are, and she's able to, yeah, do her own symbols. So around the same time, again, like kind of got on the bandwagon here. I do consider myself a fairly Plutonian person. So the Oracle of Pluto is by RP, isn't Rockpool though, right? Running Press. 55 Oracle cards, so that's perfect. Yeah, I got a bunch of Scorpio placements. My Pisces moon's in the 8th house. I do have like Pluto in Scorpio as well, and Mars in Scorpio. So I'm like, yeah, I consider myself a Plutonian person. This box is really weird. They had it so the back cover was tucked in here. But then that's just going to like rip this eventually and rip the book. So yeah, I just have it closed in there. This is the magnetic. So this one is by Aubrey Hoodshell and Rose Edez. Pardon my pronunciations, of course. So what drives me crazy about this one is they're not numbered, and then they're not alphabetical in the book. So, when you want to look something up, and this is not easy to read intuitively, when you read the book, it's got some cool concepts. So you do want to be reading the book with this one, the Oracle of Pluto, because it's got, yeah, she's got some great meanings. But how that is set up for us, yeah, like it starts out with whitetail, or starts with goat or something, then whitetail, then house cat, then crab. So if you want to find out your card, you like have to flip through the whole thing. So that's just kind of frustrating. I love the backs are beautiful with a scorpion. I love the feel of the cards. I love the shape and the size. It's that classic tarot shape and size. And yeah, I love the color palette as well. But yeah, you can see the art is very specific. It's these like shadow puppets, and that is a cool idea for sure because it's like a shadow deck. And I like the meanings of the cards when I look them up, but I would say I'm not yeah, I don't, something's over my head with the art style. I don't appreciate the art as much as one would want to. So I wanted to support this because I love the idea of a Pluto deck, of a shadow deck. Of course, being that it is 55 cards, not like 22 cards or something. That's something as well. But yeah, this is maybe one of the ones I would say, that I'm more disappointed with. But yeah, it's like, okay, so the artwork isn't my favorite, so that's one thing. But really, I don't want to, speak negatively of the creators necessarily, even though I don't love their artwork. I could have, done a closer look at other people's walkthroughs, flip throughs, that kind of thing, and decided on that. But it's more so like the manufacturer, the publisher choosing to, put it in such a weird way where you don't have any numbers to look up the cards. And then this, like, how stupid the box is, even though like magnetic closure, nice corners, the cards aren't falling out. Maybe the book will eventually, but yeah, it's just such a weird way to do the box. However, I appreciate that it's not like a really large box as well too. That is completely true at the same time. So bringing us to this deck that I got for Christmas. This was a gift from my sister, Tarot of the Divine. She knows I'm not a huge fan of like borderless, or she knows I prefer borderless, but mostly, yeah, I'm looking for this shape and size. That's sort of my favorite. And it's got, I think, sort of like a linen card stock. Tarot of the Divine is like a beautiful deck to work with. So yeah, I just got this in December, so I haven't worked with it too much. I love the idea that the cards, of course, are associated with different myths. I know lots of people really like this deck, so I look forward to getting into it. And yeah, it wasn't something that I purchased. This was a gift from my sister. So yeah, lots of interesting symbolism we have here. I might end up picking up the larger guidebook that has like the stories, all the myths for all the cards, because the description is is I guess a bit on the shorter side. So this one has like, it opens like this. So it's not terribly huge. I mean, I guess I like it when the guidebook, when it's a little bit smaller and then the guidebook is the same, but it's not, yeah, not one of those crazy large boxes like we sometimes see. And then that gives you like, the book is like, this is what you're getting with the guidebook. So I do like how that's put out, and it's not like it's a massive guidebook or a tiny guidebook. Like, I kind of get it. So it's not, the box isn't that much bigger, than the deck itself. This is manageable, compared to something like this, which is just the tarot size. So, yeah, it's nothing huge. Like, I would say this is, the huge box. Right? So I do like that. Okay, let's just return the Moon Void. Yeah, Moon Void, I don't mind that it's in French because I do speak some French. And of course, she's got like the Smith Rider-Waite imagery. And yeah, I can read the descriptions in French, and I can also, you know, translate and look stuff up if I want to, if I need to. So that doesn't really deter me at all. So this is the last deck that I got in 2023, the last one that I'll be featuring here today. So yeah, this is one that I had looked at a few times. It's by US Games. This is the Gil Tarot. And this one I think is from, you know, what is it? From the 80s or 90s. It's an older deck. This one is by Elizabeth Josephine Gill. This is the artist and writer. So similar to the, you know, the Goddess Tarot, where it's the same person who writes it and does the art. So that's really cool. Yeah, so I got this because it's Thoth based. And I really like how there's the keywords. The art is absolutely beautiful as well. Yeah, so it's the minors that have the keywords and the court cards as well. So Queen of Cups, Contemplation, Eight of Wands, Speed. So, yeah, I do recognize these meanings sort of as the Smith Rider-Waite, which I'm most familiar with, and I thought Thoth was different. So I don't know if well, Six of Cups is satisfaction rather than, you know, nostalgia. Maybe that, yeah. So maybe it's like a blend. But yeah, I love this card, the Four of Swords for rest. That's beautiful. Intuition on the King of Swords there. Beautiful feather throne, right? Valor, the Seven of Wands. So yeah, I just got this at the end of December. It was like the deck I chose to give myself as like a Christmas present. And yeah, I do see a lot of familiarity from what I know from Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. And even though it says it's a Thoth deck, I'm thinking maybe it's a bit like of a blend, which is totally fine. Yeah, I love the colors on this Judgment card. That's so interesting. So I have felt called to use this one a few times for like collective energy readings, which is interesting because I'm not typically when I read for myself or for someone else. I'm not typically doing like collective readings, but with this one, that was the energy that I felt from it. So I feel like this one really does bring something different. Different to my collection, right? So let's see here. Those are the backs. Tree of Life. So here's all the decks that I bought in 2023. Of course, including the one I received as a gift. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is, I don't know, what do we think, right? Is 11 decks for a low buy year? Is that reasonable? I don't know. I think it could go either way. I mean, I could have done with less, I suppose, but yeah, this was the best that I could do. Like I tried really hard not to buy anything at all. And, you know, here's what we ended up with. I, you know, received this as a gift. So saying that I purchased 10 gifts, or that I purchased 10 decks. But yeah, biggest takeaway, I guess, at this point is like, love the option of secondhand decks. I feel like, you know, these were a great deal. The four decks that I got secondhand. So those are very easily justified in my opinion. I'm really happy with, you know, the major savings. And then, yeah, like finding something like a Marseille deck and then a Tothy kind of thing as well. Adding some you know, some variety in there. So there, yeah, they could all be justified. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on, you know, if you did a no buy or low buy year and how that went for you. If anyone has any opinions on like if buying 10 decks in a low buy year is good or bad. But yeah, for me, I'm most proud of figuring out, you know, that you can get decks used, provided they are, you know, like new condition. Because at the end of the day, you know, some people think there is energy on the cards from past readers, you know, that may or may not be true. But if it is true, then there's also energy from the manufacturing process and the people who work in the factory producing the cards and stuff like that. And then all the transport of it as well too. So, which is this is the world we live in, that can't be avoided. So it's going to pick up energy on the factory, and then perhaps it picks up energy from a reader, but like that reader is someone who, you know, resonated with the deck and purchased it before you did. So none of the second decks I've got have been like dirty or felt like energetically unclean, and then we all have different ways of you know, of cleansing them if we feel called to do that, you know, with incense, with crystals. But then also, of course, you can take a damp cloth and wipe the cards and dry the cards too, if you want to do that. So yeah, here is my, you know, 10 decks that I purchased in 2023, and this was my attempt at a low buy no buy year. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. This is my first video, and yeah, let me know your thoughts if you attempted something similar. I would love to hear. Bye.